Hey everyone, I'm Bassmaster Elite Series Pro Pat Schlapper, and today I want to talk to you about a technique that I really like to use in the summertime, and it involves a Texas rig creature bait, but it's a specialized rig. This is a punch rig. So in the summertime, a lot of them, the vegetation will be at its maximum. It'll be fully grown, it'll be matted up, it'll be nasty, nasty stuff that is really difficult to fish efficiently with any other bait but a punch rig. You can't throw a little light Texas rig through there, you can't throw a jig, you could throw some stuff over the top, but it's so thick that them fish can't even bite it through the mat. So what you got to do is set up a punch rig, and it's something I really like to do. Won an Elite Series event doing it last year, won a lot of tournaments in my days with it, and I've kind of refined it, and I think I've got some tips that'll help you get started if you haven't done it much. So the first thing I want to talk about is the sinker. You want to have a high quality tungsten sinker. I like inserted sinkers. This has a plastic insert, so it's not going to fray my line at all. Some of them inserted or non-inserted sinkers will fray your line. The heavier the sinker, the harder it is on your line. I use an 1.5 ounce sinker the majority of the time. It's a big sinker. So if you do not use an inserted sinker, make sure you check your knot a lot. You're going to retie a ton because that will beat up your knot a lot. Second key component, you need to peg it. I really like to fish stuff without pegging my weight, but when you're punching, you have to have your sinkers pegged and you have to have them down tight. Because when that sinker hits the water, you need it all to stay together to penetrate that mat. That's the goal, is to get through that thick vegetation. So if that sinker is separated, what'll happen is the sinker will hit and then your bait will just kind of sit. It just doesn't work. You need to have it down tight. I use 2 bobber stops. One will work for a little while, but as you adjust it and move it and retie, it'll wear out and you're going to end up putting another one on anyway. So put 2 on right away. Straight shank hook. With a big sinker and EWG hooks, they don't get along. You need to have a straight shank. And the other key component, you need to tie a Snell knot. So what that Snell knot does is, when the sinker will hit, it can be a little hard to see, it'll make the hook pop up. When that sinker hits the head of the hook, so you figure that fish bites it, this sinker is going to get caught in their mouth, and with the tension of that Snell knot, it's going to cause this hook to kick up and bury in the roof of their mouth. You can hook them without a Snell knot, but you're going to hook them a lot better with a Snell knot on a straight shank flipping hook. I use a 4-aught because my bait of choice is a reaction innovation sweet beaver. If I only had to pick one for punching, that's what it's going to be, is a sweet beaver. Real, slender profile. Doesn't have bulky appendages to get hung up in the vegetation. You want it streamlined to get through. You don't want a bunch of curly stuff hanging off there. It's just not efficient. So reaction innovation sweet beaver is my go-to. 1.5 ounce Rains tungsten sinker, 2 bobber stops, 60-pound Sunline X plasma braid, and an 8:1 gear ratio reel. I want something fast. I want to pick that line up, get the fish moving at me, and keep them moving at me. This is all about power. You're not fighting the fish. You're forcing the fish to the boat. 7-foot 11-inch, heavy power, moderate fast action, real parabolic bend. I want my rod to be bowed over when I hook that fish. I don't want a broomstick because you will lose fish with too stiff of a rod. So 8:1 reel, 60-pound X plasma, 7-11 heavy, moderate fast, 4-aught straight shank hook, heavy sinker, punch it through, get the bite, hook them, and keep them moving to the boat. Don't stop reeling, don't stop moving the rod until the fish is on the bottom of the boat. You're going to lose a lot less fish if you do that than try to fight them. So that's my favorite technique for using a Texas rig creature bait in the summertime, punch rig.